What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. This is Decoding with Cody, and I just got a quick video to give you guys a bit of an overview of what I've seen about this earthquake in Myanmar. And we're not gonna make this video very long. This is a live stream, but it's not gonna be a long one. So let's just get through the details here of what I'm seeing on this earthquake. And if you guys remember, 2 days ago in my live stream, I told you guys I expect an earthquake soon because it's been a while since we had one. And then 2 days later, go back in my live stream 2 days ago. I said it. I mean, I was like, I expect a big earthquake soon. And so the story is breaking. Bangkok declared emergency zone as powerful 7.7 magnitude earthquake hits Myanmar, with tremors felt across the region. So you guys can see that collapsing buildings, kind of like what happened on 9/11, right? And remember, today is the countdown, the last day of the 1028 days since this is the 1028 days left, girl, leads to today. And now we have this collapsing buildings, just like on 9/11. Remember, on 9/11 at 1028, the buildings collapsed, right? So if you guys didn't see my last video on the 1028 days left and the countdown timer, let me just bring up the countdown timer, show you guys where we're at here. Just give me 1 second. 1028 days left. So yeah, it's still saying we have 11 hours and 55 minutes on this countdown clock. So again, at 1028 on 9/11/2001, the North Tower collapsed at 1028, right? And now we have collapsing buildings because of an earthquake, right? And the big story right now from this earthquake is the collapsed building in Thailand and also collapsed buildings in Myanmar. And we're going to look into Myanmar because Myanmar is where the earthquake actually happened. It was a 7.7 in Myanmar, but Bangkok, Thailand, actually was the first news coming out was from Bangkok. So please hit the like buttons, guys, if you're just getting in. We're just going to cover this real fast. And again, these are my initial findings. This is a breaking story, so there'll be much more to talk about as we learn more. But so let's look into this. So again, going back to the 1028 days, today is the countdown, the last day of the countdown. Now we have collapsing buildings. The building collapsed at 1028 on 9/11. And the big story, guys, is a collapsing building right here. This is the big story. Breaking story is the collapsing building, okay? And so how is this connected to military? So let's first of all look, and I'm going to let you guys decide if you guys think this is made, if this is all God or if this is a military experiment, okay? So earthquake equals military, okay? 3 out of the 4 ciphers of basic gematria, earthquake, military, are a perfect match, okay? So that's interesting in itself, right? Now, I want you guys to notice the 55, right? Earthquake 55, military 55. Well, the word God equals 55. So is this a God? Is this made by God or is this made by military? I'm going to let you guys decide, okay? Is this a God event or is this a military event? Or is it both? Maybe it's both. But earthquake 55, military 55, God 55, okay? Also Satan 55. So, but the point here is military and earthquake. Why do they have perfect matches in gematria? Well, let's do a bit of exploring into Myanmar. See, Myanmar is where this earthquake happened. Now, what is Myanmar? Myanmar is a country of 55 million, guys. Has a population of 55 million. Now, Myanmar is also known as Burma. What do you guys think Burma equals? Burma equals 55. Like Satan equals 55. So let's just bring up the 55, right? Burma 55, Satan 55, earthquake 55, military 55. And Burma is a country of 55 million. Look at the theme song for Burma. The theme song literally means till the end of the world. That's what their theme song is. This country that just got hit by an earthquake, their song is called The End Till the End of the World. What happens in the book of Revelation? Earthquakes. Satan falls like lightning, earthquakes, guys. 55 million, like Satan equals 55, like Burma. Again, this country is also known as Burma. Now, if this is a military earthquake, again, military earthquake, a perfect match in gematria, but both earthquake and military have the 55. Now, what is Burma? What is Myanmar? Myanmar is currently ruled by the Tatmadaw. Now, who are the Tatmadaw? Tatmadaw are a military ruling class. You guys understand what I'm showing you here? The country of 55 million is ruled by a military order called the Tatmadaw. Now, who is the Tatmadaw? The Tatmadaw was founded on March 27th, 1945, guys. Yesterday, the Tatmadaw Military Order of Myanmar just turned 80 years old. What is the gematria of Satan and Burma? Guys, Burma equals 80. Like Burma is Myanmar, okay? Satan equals 80. The Tatmadaw military ruling class just turned 80 years old yesterday. Right here, March 27, 1945, they were founded. This earthquake occurred one day after the 80th birthday of the Tatmadaw. Now, the Tatmadaw is the current military ruling class of Myanmar. Okay? When was the coup d'etat so there was a coup d'etat in 2021 by the Tatmadaw. When was the military coup d'etat? It was on February 1st, guys, 2021. Guess how many days after the coup d'etat? So let me just prove this point right here, guys. The coup d'etat, the military coup d'etat by the Tatmadaw happened 55 days. The anniversary of the coup d'etat was 55 days before the earthquake in Myanmar. Wow. Guys, military. This is a military rule right here. A coup d'etat creates the end of civilian rule and the reimposition of military rule, guys. Military 55, earthquake 55. Now, Myanmar is currently in the state of a civil war because of this coup d'etat. This earthquake occurred 55 days after the coup d'etat. Now, guys, they're saying this was a 7.7 earthquake 55 days after the military rule started, the anniversary. In numerology, the number 77, like it was a 7.7, is 55. 7.7 earthquake, 77 is the 55th composite number. 55 days after the coup d'etat anniversary, and you get an earthquake, which equals 55. And military, this is a military rule. This happens in the country of Burma, which equals 55. And this is a country of 55 million. And again, this earthquake happens one day after the 80th birthday of the Tatmadaw. And what does the Tatmadaw mean? Tatmadaw means Grand Armed Forces. Again, a military rule. Okay? Let me just see what that equals real fast. So you guys might think I'm crazy, right? By making this all about this earthquake, all about military. But I'll tell you right now that it's not a coincidence that in Gematria, the word military equals earthquake and the word Burma equals Satan, okay? The Tatmadaw just turned 80 years old, like Satan, like Burma. Yesterday, guys, Burma turned, or the Tatmadaw, the military order of the country, turned 80 years old yesterday. And what is the gematria of Satan and Burma, the country? 80. Okay. Now Tatmadaw equals 83. Okay, so let's dig into that. Notice that the whole idea of this right now, the whole story's breaking in the news, is collapsing of buildings and bridges. Look at this. The Ava Bridge collapses. Guys, I was just talking about bridge collapses and earthquakes in my last video. This is insane. The colonial area Ava Bridge collapses after earthquake. The building in Bangkok collapses after earthquake. Guys, collapse equals 83, like the Tatmadaw. And again, the Tatmadaw is the ruling class, the military class of, and look at this, from the independence of Burma. From the independence of Burma to today's earthquake is 83 days, guys. 83 days since the independence of Burma from British rule to today is 83 days. Collapse equals 83. The Tatmadaw, the ruling class, 83. Now, going back to the devil or Satan, who collapses to earth. The devil equals 85, like Myanmar. Look at the almost perfect two-cipher match of the devil and Myanmar. We're talking about Satan, which equals Burma, which is the other name for Myanmar. Yes, Zach's wife is from Burma. Zach, Gematria Effect News, his wife is from Burma, yes. I hope her family is okay. But again, military, we're talking about the Tatmadaw military. Guys, this is one of the only countries in the world that has a military, well, not the only, but it's one of those rare countries that has a military rule, okay? And notice that this group is also known as the Sit-Tat. Let's see what that equals. Sit-Tat, yeah. So anyway, the point is Tatmadaw equals the devil. Now, 85, guys, this is the last day of the 8,500 days after 9/11, okay? Remember, today is 8,599 days after 9/11. So tomorrow we turn 100 days after 9/11. But let's go back to the military thing. Now, if you type into ChatGPT, says the senior official of the Myanmar is Min Aung Hlaing, however you say that. Now, he took office. So let's just type him in. So this guy, he took office on February 2nd, 2021. So one day after the coup d'etat, right? And so that means today is 55 days after the anniversary of him taking office. Again, the 55 is the main number I talked about in this decode because, again, it's 55 days after the coup d'etat anniversary, 55 days after the ruler took office anniversary, and again, all the 55s. So Yeah, and so remember the Tatmadaw, they were founded on March 27th, so their birthday was yesterday. Now, let's talk about military weapons underground that cause earthquakes. Now, guys, I was looking at this movie a few days ago, and I had no idea that this movie would come into play. Look at when this movie was released, guys. March 28th, 2003. Guys, what is today's date? March 28th, 2025. So it's been 22 years since the release of the movie called The Core. Now, what is this movie about? Let me type it in. If I type in on ChatGPT, are there any movies about military underground earthquake weapons? Okay, what does it give me, guys? The Core. The Core, 2003. Scientists must travel to Earth's core to restart the planet's rotation after military experiments disrupt the natural balance. Guys, this movie is literally listed by ChatGPT as being a military government. The themes of this movie are government cover-ups, underground drilling, and artificial seismic activity. Guys, this movie came out on March 28th. Today is March 28th. Think about that. Today is March 28th. This is the movie that just came out. Or this is the movie that came out that has the same type of military experiments underground. Nuclear charges underground. Look at this. So this whole movie is about drilling. Look, Deep Earth Seismic Trigger Initiative. A U.S. tectonic weapon, man. Like this movie, look, it mentions the Golden Gate Bridge being destroyed. Guys, in my last video, I just talked about the Golden Gate Bridge collapsing because of an earthquake, and 2 days later, we get a bridge collapse. Remember, the big story right now is there's a bridge collapse in Myanmar, a bridge collapse because of an earthquake. I just talked about that. Yeah, Decoder Ring is in the chat talking about the day being the 87th day of the year. And yes, Holy War does equal 87. So there's something to go with the 87s, guys. But again, these are just initial finds. The big thing here to start is the 55, right? Let me just bring this up one last time. This is, what do you guys think in the chat? Do you guys think it's a coincidence that this Core movie came out on March 28th, 2003? Today is March 28th, 2003. We get a military earthquake. And in this movie, there is something called the Deep Earth Seismic Trigger Initiative. Think about it. Destiny. Let's see what that equals. Keyes discovers Zemsky was lead scientist at Destiny, a U.S. tectonic weapon that when first tested accidentally stopped the Earth's rotation. Wow. Oh, look at that, man. Wow. The name of this this group in the movie Core is 80, man. I was just talking about that. Today is 80 years after the Tatmadaw. Yesterday was 80 years after the Tatmadaw military order established. And the movie The Core has a group in it called Destiny. And Destiny equals 80. Like Satan, like Burma. And remember, this country today is Burma. That's also what they're known by. So, wow. Guys, please hit those like buttons if you're just getting in. Let's get those likes up. And again, I'm the first one to be covering this. This is just the initial finds. but we're talking about a movie that literally talks about military weapons underground that came out on this exact date 22 years ago. And the group in there literally matches Burma and Satan. And again, this group that rules Burma just turned 80 years old. So let's see something here. March 27, 1945. Let me just do a measurement. Okay, so yeah, it was so essentially the Tatmadaw was founded on the movie The Core released on one day after the anniversary of the Tatmadaw. Tatmadaw, I don't know how you say that. But notice that this group was independence was 1948. What else happened in 1948, man? We had the founding of Israel. And again, this goes back to the Knights Templar, the military order. Why is this perfect, guys? Look at this country. 85, 31, 104, and 41. Guys, look at this. The Templars are a military order. The word Templar equals Myanmar in all ciphers. Okay? And again, this goes back to military. Again, that's why this is a military-ruled country. And military equals earthquake. And it was 55 days after the military took over, the anniversary. Right? But it's just crazy that Templar equals Myanmar in all ciphers. So how wild is that? And considering that the Templars are a military order. I'll just type it in ChatGPT. Are the Templars a military order? Yes, the Knights Templar are a military order. Okay? So there you go. Military order, military country, military earthquake, all tied to the name military. That's why military equals earthquake. Okay? Simple as that. Military equals earthquake. That's as easy as it gets to describe this video. And yeah, and then you have collapses of buildings. Okay? And again, the 77. Why is the 77 so important? Well, Flight 77 hit the 77-foot tall Pentagon on 9/11. Right? 77 minutes after taking off. This is a 7.7 earthquake. Okay? So I think maybe does anyone in the chat have anything to add to this? Remember, today is the end of the countdown. We have 11 hours till this officially counts down, it's showing. I don't know why I guess today at the end of the day, it's the official end of the countdown. But yeah. But yeah, the main takeaway from this video is that this is a March 28th movie that came out, and today we get an earthquake on March 28th. Well, the big fella, he's asking the big fella. That's a nice username, the big fella. Well, the big fella is asking, is this an act of God or is this government? Well, you decide. You decide, because I presented in this video how it's connected to the word military. Earthquake equals military. Again, if you look at this slide, If you look at this slide right here, it was 55 days, this earthquake, after the military took over, the anniversary of the military taking over. Like military, like earthquake equals 55. This happened in Burma, which equals 55. It was a 7.7 earthquake, and 77 is the 55th composite number. So if you think if that's enough proof to you that this is a military earthquake, I don't know. That's up to you. Or is this a God earthquake? Is this a biblical earthquake? Because the word God equals 55. And the word Satan equals 55. And Satan falls like lightning. Right? So the 55 is one of the most important numbers of this decode. So if you understand the 55, you understand how this all connects. Either way, if you think this is from God, then it still connects, because God equals 55, like earthquake, like like military. Yeah, in 1948, there was also the Arab-Israel War. And remember, the country of Burma, or Myanmar, gained their independence from Britain in 1948. This is the same year that King Charles. So I think this is connected to the news of King Charles, guys. So King Charles just announced that he was in the hospital. King Charles undergoes hospital observation due to cancer treatment. So King Charles was born in 1948, guys. This is the same year that Britain gave the independence to Burma, or Myanmar. Now that we just have this news about King Charles being in the hospital, supposedly, and now we have this earthquake in Burma, or in Myanmar, whatever you want to call it. Well, let's see how many days after the independence of Myanmar. See, Myanmar's independence was on January 4th, 1948. So let's look into that. January 4th, 1948. Let me just take a look and see. Oh, there you go too, guys. Look, it's been 77 years since the independence of Myanmar. Guys, how big was the earthquake? The earthquake was a 7.7. It's been 77 years since the independence of Myanmar from Britain. Okay? How about that? 77 years after their independence, they get a 7.7 earthquake. So that's another one. 77 years and 83 days. Remember, 83 days is the gematria of collapse. And the ruling class of Myanmar is the Tatmadaw, which equals 83. Yeah, someone in the chat is saying, Decoder Ring is saying quake equals 55 too. Yeah, that's a good point. Quake equals 55. Look, quake equals 80. 55 and 80, guys. Look at that. Burma, the country, 5580. Satan, 5580. Quake, 5580. Earthquake, 55. Military, 55. So this is definitely a riddle for Satan falling to earth. Let me just type something in. Does Satan cause earthquake in Bible from falling to earth? So remember, Luke 10:18. Satan falls like lightning. Right? I'm just wondering if they're symbolically like showing Satan falling like lightning to earth is causing like the shaking of the earth, right? The shake. Because I mean, look at the word quake. Quake equals Satan. So that is something to think about. I don't know if there's actually a verse, if you guys can find one that actually mentions the shaking, but we know that the book of Revelation has many connections to shaking, earthquakes. Somebody's saying Trump's B-Day is in 78 days. Oh, I see. Okay. Uh, 113, thank you for your service. What's up, brother? So, I don't know, guys. I think there's probably more we could find here on live, but I don't want to make this live stream too long. So let's start wrapping it up. If you guys have anything else to add, please do so in the comments of the video. I don't think this is a coincidence that this is happening on the day it's happening, connecting to the movie that came out on this day, which talks about military technology underground. Also, it's pretty much one day after the birthday of the ruling class of the country. So this is just the initial finds. I'm sure you guys are going to find. I'm sure Joseph will find stuff. I'm sure Zach will find stuff. Zach's wife is from Burma, so I'm sure there'll be additional finds that people in the community will find. I just want to see what Royal Armed Forces equals. And I just wonder if this is a riddle for eventual military takeover in the United States, man. I just wonder. Royal Armed Forces, 178. I don't see anything there off the top of my head, but that's not even the main name of the main name of the group is called the Tatmadaw, which we already showed. So you notice how Tatmadaw equals 268 in Fibonacci? Well, today is 268 days after the birthday of the leader of the Tatmadaw. I mean, yeah, guys, that's pretty interesting. Today is 268 days after the birthday of the leader of the Tatmadaw. Tatmadaw equals 268 in Fibonacci. So that's another interesting addition to add to this. But yeah, the 87, guys. I mean, this happened on the 87th day of the year. 76 date numerology. Skull and Bones, 76. We just had a bunch of Skull and Bones stuff happen with the 76. And now we have 76 date numerology. So tomorrow is 88th day of the year, guys, and it's the eclipse. I guess I shouldn't forget to mention the eclipse. So look who's in the chat here. Widow's Son is in the chat. Sirius equals 77. Does it? Where's Sirius equals 77? Hold on. Wait, am I missing something? Wait a minute. Sirius equals Sirius equals 77. I don't see it. Huh. Anyway, 61200. So in the book of Revelation 6:12, it's about an earthquake. 61200 to today is 9055 days. 955 is the 595th minute of the day. Sirius is 595. Yeah. So I was thinking about Sirius because notice that the flag of the country and the armed forces, the Tatmadaw, is the star, the pentagram. Now, Sirius is represented by the pentagram. So we got the star right there in front of us. or the 5-pointed star, right? But yeah, he's saying the dog star equals 77. Well, dog star equals 80. Was just talking about that. Huh, I still don't see the 77, bro. Am I missing it? Huh. I mean, that's not a big deal, though, because decoder ring is saying coup equals 55. So there's another 55 to add into this. Sirius the dog star. Okay, that's what it is. Yeah, there you go. Sirius the dog star 77. Okay, it was a 7.7. Yeah. And, there's probably more to look into with the 77. And there's also probably more to look into with the 87, because 87 is the day of the year. So, yeah, I just need to think more. But the initial finds here are the 55s, because this country supposedly has 55 million. It's ruled by a military, which equals 55. It's known as Burma, which equals 55. And again, in case you guys are just getting in, this is the main slide to this decode. 7.7 earthquake. 77 is the 55th composite number. It's 55 days after the military order took over, the anniversary, which military equals 55, like earthquake. The country is Burma, which equals 55. So, and the Bangkok, Thailand thing, that's probably something to that too. But we're already 36 minutes in, so let's hang this one up, and maybe later on we'll have more on this. But keep your eyes peeled for more videos from other decoders, because I'm sure there's more to find. All right, guys. So take care out there. Please like and share the video if you guys would, and don't forget to hit those like buttons on the way out. And I'll be back later with more decodes, but this is just the initial findings. So God bless you all. We'll see you guys very soon. Much love.